follow. Medical marijuana. When that initiative came up and the license came up, I emailed the mayor and the council member. I was dead set against it because I didn't think it was for the right purposes. However, a doctor or professor from UCSD has finally come out with and released his findings of clinical study of patients that he did a test on with medical marijuana. There's specific illnesses that he listed that medical marijuana can help. That being said, City Council has delayed decision on the business license for medical marijuana for Chula Vista. When you're elected, and that comes before you, knowing that you have to represent the people as well as the electorate, how will you address the medical marijuana situation?
Did you guys understand that?
Mr. Fagan, did you have a question?
Sure. In terms of medical marijuana, it's important that the city attorney make sure that the city is complying with Prop 215 and making sure that that the requirements are met in terms of any ordinances that are passed with regard to medicinal marijuana. Ultimately, the key is that the city attorney's job is to provide and make sure that the laws and ordinances are constitutional, that they're lawful, and that they're being followed. In terms of policy decisions, those are the terms of the city council and the mayor. So from a city attorney's perspective, if I am your city attorney, it will definitely be my position that to make sure that the city council is following the mandates of Prop 215.
Mr. Googins, a second.
Yes, thank you.
9-1.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Fagan's correct in his assessment of the role of the city attorney in this instance. As long as the law is being complied, ultimately it'll be the city council's job to determine the extent to which they are going to allow medical marijuana dispensaries within the city, or if in fact it is lawful to prohibit medical marijuana dispensaries in the city, then they could legally decide in order to do that. I know that one of the reasons why the city council decided to defer consideration of that matter and place a moratorium on those types of uses is, as I understand it, there are significant court cases currently kind of working their way through at a number of different cities, and a determination of the extent to which a medical marijuana dispensary storefront, which was not contemplated by the enabling legislation, is lawful, will soon be decided. And I think it's prudent to wait for that kind of determination in order to decide whether or not that will be allowed, and then to evaluate, based on best practices in other jurisdictions, the kinds of, if the city decides to proceed, what kinds of conditions would be appropriate to impose on such a use. Distance from schools, certain types of security plans that may be required, certifications for the folks that are providing the medical marijuana, a whole host of things, and you need to look at other jurisdictions and see what they're doing in order to learn from them.
Thank you, Mr. Googins. Mr. Pratt?
I think it's absolutely prudent that the city council's actions are absolutely prudent right now. They have to wait because there are enough lawsuits already, and that the city of Chula Vista does not need to use our taxpayer money to litigate those issues and create case law. That's not what we're here to do. I will tell you that the city attorney needs to work with law enforcement very carefully on this issue. There is going to be a lot of purported abuse of medical marijuana. The law is the law, the city attorney needs to apply the law, but that doesn't mean we need to do it blindly and create perhaps more situations of addiction, etc. So I think there's a lot of concerns here. There's different segments of the community that need to be tapped into. The neighborhoods, the community organizations need to have their stake and their say in the city ordinance and how it's going to be implemented. As Mr. Googins said, where is it going to be implemented? What neighborhoods is it going to be? Are medical dispensaries going to be allowed in? And most importantly, what type of oversight is the city going to have, and particularly our law enforcement, to make sure that there's no abuse or circumventions of drugs that are harmful to our community.
Thank you, Mr. Costa.